we're going to call our second VIP all the way from Nigeria. Put hand together. We're going to call our second speaker, second VIP, Baba Tunda Adehale, all the way from Nigeria, our blue diamond. Okay, Baba. The platform's yours.
Yeah, thank you so much,
Hi, man.
Mr.
How are
Lan.
you?
I'm quite okay.
That's
It's good to
great.
be
That's
here.
great. Wow.
It's a great opportunity anytime you're asked to present on international Zoom. It's something that should not be taken for granted. I would like to say a big thank you to everybody who is here on this platform for the first time. Newcomers, you are most welcome. You are on the greatest platform on earth for health and wealth. And I can assure you, from what you have been hearing, you are not going to regret ever coming to this meeting. After this meeting, you're just going to call whoever invited you to let you know how you can come in. Preferably, you come in as a platinum member or at least a gold member. Because from what you have been hearing, this is the best thing that can ever happen to anybody on the surface of the earth. I would like to thank Mr. Obed. Wonderful presentation. Great. That was lovely. Love more and win. That was very fine presentation. Mr. Chet Ali, great presentation. Thank you so much. And I would also like to say a welcome to our old friends who have been attending this meeting for so long. Please don't waste any more moments. Call whoever invited you to the meeting, who introduced you to Phytoscience, and ask them how you can sign up today. Don't waste a single moment anymore. And then a warm welcome to all trend makers on this platform. I am Adele Babatunde, a professor of physics, presenting live from my office at the University of Lagos. We are going to talk about two things today. We are going to take a look at our products and how we can run the business. You see, we got the best set of products that anyone can ever present to us from the great biochemistry of Switzerland. You need to take a look at the man that is in charge of our products. And Dr. Prezuli is one of the greatest scientists the world has ever seen. You need to take a look at some of his patents, even in the US alone, massive. It's not somebody whose work is to be trifled with. Now, how do you run the business of phytoscience? This is very important. You need to get to know your products. And once you give out your products to whoever is maybe signing up, then you need to follow up to get to know how they are appreciating the product. I've been able to amass over 1,300 testimonies, personal testimonies, because I've been following up on those who have been taking the products through me. I start asking them from the very first day they start taking the product. That is because there are some people who got results within an hour. Like the woman whose pee was the color of moss. Within 30 minutes of taking the product, she had been so worried about her health. She even told her cousin that she was dying. And in 30 minutes, her urine became normal in color. Then some will get results in a day, in a few hours, in a week. And then you may need to tweak how they are taking the product by interacting with them, how they are feeling. That is very important. It's not just a matter of just giving products to people. You may need to tweak the way they take the product. Okay, maybe you start with Snowy Fort today. Start with Snowy Fort and then come up with Crystal Cell later, or how are you responding to each of these products? These are wonderful products, but you need to monitor how they are being used. And how are you going to get testimonies if you're not following up on those taking the product? And then the other part of it is you take care of members of your team. You may have to make sacrifice of time and at times even money for their sake. You have to encourage them to make use of social media tools. Some of them will come in and then they have their own ideas of how to run the business. But of course, it cannot be as good as marrying whatever they have in their minds with what has been working for you. It's always said that you cannot argue with results. So encourage them to make use of social media tools. I have been making massive use of WhatsApp and Facebook. How useful is Facebook? I put my testimonies on Facebook, on WhatsApp. Facebook is fantastic in the sense that once you put it there, it will come back in a year's time to remind you of what you put there. So a reminder of what you have put there. And then my chats are always there attached to the testimonies. So if you see my testimonies on Facebook, you see most likely my WhatsApp chat all loaded. You cannot argue with that. You may not be presenting someone that is speaking on Zoom, but there's something people cannot argue with. They look at the time you posted the testimonies, how you started chatting with them when they got the product, the dates we show, and how they responded when they were not getting results, or when they started getting results gradually, and then when they became perfect in their head. All these are there for people to see, and for me to see after a whole year after posting the testimonies. And then people have to get to know the product. That is, the people that your team need to get to know the product. And Obed has done a wonderful work today. What I'm going to do now is just going to be a little bit of adding to complementing what he has said already. We all know that crystal cell and double stem cell are good for cell regeneration, and they also fight inflammation. Inflammation is something I keep talking about at all times, because 80% of the ailments we have all over the world are from chronic inflammation, because there's acute inflammation, which is the way the body takes care of injury and anything it does not want in the first instance. But when it becomes prolonged, or maybe when it starts attacking, the immune system begins to attack healthy cells, thinking they are enemy cells, then the individual is in trouble. I'm going to take as an example, as we move into Snowy Fort, what inflammation is all about. I'm going to take as an example sugar. Sugar is very bad for the body. That is, if you take too much of sugar, actually added sugar. This is some of the ways this can affect your health. Sugar will slow down your white blood cells. Indeed, if you take too much sugar, it can impair white blood cells for about 12 hours. That has been confirmed by research. And white blood cells are part of the adaptive immune system. And if your adaptive immune system, especially the white blood cells that are circulating all over your body, trying to hunt down antigens, are impaired for 12 hours, you can imagine what will happen to your body for a solid 12 hours when it is not well protected. Now, not just only the white blood cells, even the other blood cells are slowed down. And then the sugar also coats the linings of your blood vessels, making them to thicken up and narrow into smaller spaces for blood to pass through. And once that happens, the heart has to do a lot of work trying to pump blood through them. The blood pressure will rise, and then the heart itself is overworked. I'm going to see that it's not only the heart that is overworked. Now, it's going to also alter the structure of the cells lining your guts and the blood vessels. And that is going to make immune cells not to recognize them anymore. What happens? The immune cells think these cells are unrecognizable and think they're enemy cells and start attacking them. Not just that, not only are they attacking them, they're also inviting other cells of the immune system to come over and help them do this work. And because, they are fighting a war that is unnecessary, you are going to lack energy because energy is being withdrawn from some other parts of the body, from the other parts of the system, just to fight a war that is not even necessary in the first instance. Now, as they are dying, the cells will also need to be cleared up. Now, phagocytes will come in. Phagocytes will clean up the mess being created by the soldiers that are fighting. But because they're also slowed down by the sugar in your system, it's going to cause more problems. They are not going to clear up very well. And then what else will inflammation do to your body? You see, when your body is inflamed, just as we see a wound and we see the red blood cells coming up and taking some space, that's what's happening inside the body. It's going to create a mold, something like a swell inside the body, which is pressed down on the nerve ends, making you to feel pains. That is why you feel pains all over your body for 1 year, 2 years. It's not abating. But once you take our Snowy Fort and crystal cell, that is why you just begin to see that the pain is going down, and then so many things are being corrected inside your body. So many people will ask you why you believe so much that, why you keep claiming that your products take care of all so many problems at the same time. It is because most of them are from inflammation. Once crystal cell and Snowy Fort enter your body, they begin to clear up the mess inside the body. And there's no way your eyes won't get clearer, the pains will go down. If you are urinating and the color of your urine has always been like that of mud, it becomes normal. In my own case, my saliva was reddish brown for many months, and then the mouth was not producing enough saliva. And in just 5 days, the saliva became normal, and my left eye began to see at close range for the first time in many years. Now, it doesn't matter how inflammation comes into the body. It could be due to obesity, could be due to smoking, poor diet, a sedentary lifestyle, or maybe antigens or viruses, for instance, or bacteria coming into your body that the immune system is fighting. Whether from sugar or from any irritant, as I said, each organ or tissue begins to develop inflammation to protect itself. Inflammation itself is a way of protecting itself from all this trouble. And over a length of time, each organ can become damaged due to inflammation. We are not getting enough blood supply to the organs. How will the organs function? Because they need a good supply of blood to function optimally. Now, let's take a look at the liver. For instance, if you take too much sugar, again, I go back to sugar, and then what happens to the liver? Inside the liver, it begins to store fat, and it eventually leads to non-alcoholic fatty liver, which can eventually lead to cancer and other problems like cirrhosis. Cirrhosis is the case where some of the cells inside the liver are dying. You won't even know initially because the liver has a way of taking care of itself, but eventually it could become overwhelmed. And then by the time people know it has a problem, it has progressed too far. It can no longer repair itself. And but what will our products do when they get inside the body? They are going to regenerate every tissue and every organ, including the liver itself. Now, the cells of the immune system sense there's problems, as I said, and they begin to come around to fight. They invite more and more cells to fight. And then, as I said, you lack energy. And then suddenly, when you start taking our products, you find out that your energy is back. So many people report that. And then one thing we can also not forget is then the autoimmune condition. The immune cells in the body are fighting healthy cells, thinking they are enemy cells. There's only one way you can handle such a problem. Orthodox medication will never help you with such an issue. Because one, the cells that are causing the trouble have to be regenerated. Those cells that are not being recognized by the immune system, the cells of the immune system must be regenerated. Not just that, the T cells usually that are responsible for autoimmune conditions must also be regenerated because these cells are already misbehaving. They are seeing problems where there are no problems. So two things are being done. One, the cells, tissues, and organs are being regenerated to make them okay for the body. And then also, since they are also cells, the immune cells are also being conditioned in such a way that being replaced in such a way that they cannot give the body any problem anymore. That is why I've had so much success with autoimmune diseases that orthodox medications have failed to bring succor to such people. You see, when you begin to take Snowfall, it brings down your sugar, and then because it also fights inflammation alongside crystal cell, you begin to report reduction in pain, and then also a drop in your blood sugar. That is very important. If your sugar was high, even if it was not high, there's a way Snowfall regulates your sugar in such a way that it is just the best for the products that are the other products in phytoscience to work. And then you see, Snowfall, as Obed said, sets the body pH at the right optimal level for body functions, and then also for the cells of the immune system. It brings down all the infections inside the body and builds blood and fights infection. You can see, because it's a blood builder, those who have sickle cell anemia don't have anything to worry about. I've had about 10 cases of those who had that ailment who are completely okay now. Permanent solution. Phytoscience is talking about permanent solutions. Otherwise, I would not have got myself involved in phytoscience if only it had been given only a partial solution, or perhaps you had to take it for life. I would not have got myself involved. Now, it cleanses up the gastrointestinal tract so that the body can start healing from inside. We all know that the gastrointestinal system contains about 70 to 80% of the immune cells inside the body, all waiting for whatever you are going to eat. We keep saying you are what you eat. There's nothing that is more powerful than that statement, because so many problems originate from the gastrointestinal system. And what phytoscience does is to give you Snowfall that will take care of that and cleanse it, and then you can start healing. Now we go on to one product that people tend to take for granted, Actra Plus. Because people will ask you why you need to take each of these products. You see, Actra Plus is the best when it comes to building immunity. It has 18 fruits, 12 vegetables, and 9 spices. What that means is that your gut is going to get the best for its population. there's a population along your intestine, trillions of cells along your mouth, the whole of the gastrointestinal system, waiting for you to put in something there. And this is why what you're going to eat is very important. If, for instance, you are taking starchy food at this stage in your life, perhaps you are already 40, 50, 38, thereabout, you need to add a lot of roughage. That is because you don't want sugar to hit your tummy suddenly and make your sugar to spike. You add a lot of green leafy vegetables and then some fruits. Of course, you have to watch the fruits you take. There should not be sugary fruits. And then with that, you are able to keep your insulin low, because if the body begins to have too much of insulin spike, it's going to damage your system. And then you're likely to develop insulin resistance, which will lead to so many things, including obesity, so many things. And you have too much sugar pouring down your bloodstream. You don't want that to happen. So you want to take care of that gastrointestinal system, because so many things are in there that can make your health good or bad, because there's a balance of bacteria and other microbes inside your GI system that must be in the right condition for you to assimilate food and also for your own general well-being. You cannot have too many good ones and too many bad ones. They have to be balanced. And that is what Actua Plus and Snowflake will do for you. The variety in Actua Plus will ensure that your stomach has the best variety of bacteria. And once that is settled, your health will improve in all ways. You know what it can be if your stomach is not settled, because that is the part of the body that also has its own brain. It can transmit all sorts of signals to the rest of your body. That is why Actua Plus has to be taken solidly by those who have cancer, who have diabetes. It is because all these ailments came from inflammation. You have to take care of inflammation. Once inflammation is taken care of, your body will improve in health. And then when you take a look at somebody who has cancer, they have to take Actua Plus continuously. Organ problems like the kidneys, they have to take Actua Plus continuously. My associate that is taking care of his mommy that has cancer keeps buying Actua Plus, Actua Plus. I want to ask her, how come you are buying so much of Actua Plus? She said, Actua Plus is doing a lot for my mommy. I also know a woman that loves Actua Plus so much. So please, Actua Plus is something that should be taken by all who are diabetic and those who are recovering from any serious ailment. You can go on and on and on and on. There's no end to talking about phytoscience. I'm a professor of physics, but I also like to call myself a professor of phytoscience. That is because I have seen that this is something that I never knew was going to be possible in my lifetime, where a single range of product to take care of all health issues. Indeed, when I got to know about phytoscience, I was so shocked, because I never thought that in my lifetime, this kind of set of products will ever come into being. So I would like again to thank the presenters who came before me, Obed, Lovemore, Chet, for doing a wonderful job, and then Phytoscience International for giving me the opportunity once again to come on here and talk a little bit about phytoscience. Thank you so much.